We're at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex getting ready for the continuation of match week 20 in the Jamaica Premier League, powered by Digicel. In the opening game of the doubleheader, five-time champions Arnett Gardens taking on Mount Pleasant. And this is a big clash between two teams that are occupying the third and fourth positions in the table at the moment. Pretty hot conditions at 29 degrees Celsius. And as usual, the wind factor pretty significant, 31 kilometers per hour at the moment, and it's pretty humid as well at 65%. Bright and sunny conditions on a Monday evening as Arnett Gardens having a tremendously successful season compared to the one they had last year, getting ready for action here against Mount Pleasant. These two teams had battled to a 1-1 draw in the first round back in March. Dunbeholden and Waterhouse, the top two teams in the league at the moment, and here we are, Arnett Gardens against Mount Pleasant, 3 against 4. Mount Pleasant with a win over Arnett this evening would displace Arnett in the number 3 spot. Cavalier Tivoli are the other two teams that are occupying playoff spots at the moment. Harbourview and Humberland will have to have some very, very magical results going their way to displace the teams ahead of them, Cavalier and Tivoli, for playoff spots. Teams getting ready to take the field. There's Eric Rademachers, the head coach or the assistant coach of the Arnett Gardens team. And the fans not turning out in huge numbers just yet. Maybe a little disappointing for them that Arnett is having the opening game here of a doubleheader. And there are some Marlon Allen fans in the stands. Marlon Allen, the youngster, gets a starting position this evening here in the Arnett Gardens roster. Arnett coming off a 3-3 draw last weekend against the Malines, and looking for a result here that would put some daylight between themselves and fourth place Mount Pleasant, and also take them closer to the top of the table. Arnett Gardens, 5-time champions of the Premier League. Only Portmore have been champions more times than they have. Against the Mount Pleasant team here that are in their 4th season of Premier League football, having qualified in 2018-2019. Chris Taylor and Brent Sancho joining us for the commentary on this, the opening game of a doubleheader as the teams are getting ready to take the field. And after seeing 6 goals at the start of match week 20, televised action yesterday afternoon, gentlemen, we're expecting 2 big games here, because these teams, these 2 here and the 2 coming up in the 7:30 game, are all top 6 teams.
Yeah, certainly, and Mount Pleasant, who would have been leading the Premier League early in the season and fell away, are now finding back their form. 4 wins in 5, and really making a big statement last week. A 4-1 victory, 2 braces for Daniel Green and Trevante Stewart respectively. So Mount Pleasant really finding back their form and their confidence under Nick Eden. And yeah, a big win 2 weeks ago for Arnett Gardens. They might be disappointed with last week that they dropped points against Malines, but yeah, that win over Dunbeholden certainly would have given them a lot of confidence, and keeping Dunbeholden to a blank as well was a first for the season for Dunbeholden. So yeah, both teams riding high, confident, and I do expect goals in this kind of fixture here, lads.
Yeah, Mount Pleasant playing in predominantly white today, and Arnett Gardens in their traditional black and red outfit. Not on the starting roster today is Fabian Reid, leading goal scorer for Arnett Gardens in the past 6 or 7 seasons. He had a season, Brent Sancho, at San Juan Jablote in the TNT Pro League, and he is back home and doing good things for Arnett Gardens.
Yeah, it's remarkable to still see him going, and of course at full tilt as well. He's such a handful and experienced player as well. We looked at Austin yesterday, of course, and what he was able to accomplish. Imagine Fabian Reid, 56 goals so far in his career. That's remarkable for him, and a testament to the player that he is.
Yeah, and here's the starting lineup for Arnett Gardens. And following their 3-3 draw with Malines last week, 3 changes: Ajuma Johnson, Marlon Allen, and Kimani Arboin getting starting positions ahead of Janoy Cunningham, Fabian Reed, and Steve Clark. And a very, very strong attacking lineup here, Chris, for the Arnett Gardens team.
Yeah, they'll be playing with a 4-3-3. Ajuma Johnson returns after that horrendous tackle a couple of weeks ago, but he will add some impetus, especially from the wide areas with his talented left foot. So expect more pace going into the flank regions. Good to see Kimani Arboin. I guess, well, it couldn't be anything else after a strike like that. He must get a start in place, so he should be riding high as well.
Yeah, and here is the Mount Pleasant team coming off a 4-1 victory over Tivoli, a thumping victory. Only one change to their roster: Jamoy Topi coming back into the team ahead of Joel Powell and Trevante Stewart and Daniel Green, the top striking men for Mount Pleasant.
And they will be playing with a 4-4-2, as I said, really getting right back into their good streaks. And as I said, Daniel Green now the leader, the Golden Boot leader in terms of scoring with 12 goals. And yeah, they will be expecting a lot from him as well. Ricardo Morris, good to see him maintaining a starting place yet again. Still haven't really seen him come to life fully though, lads, with all that experience and national exposure. 36 goal man in his Premier League career. He really needs to get amongst the scoring. And of course, Trevante Stewart, a lovely partner for Daniel Green.
Yeah, and I would think Kimani Arboin, Marlon Allen, and Ronaldo Cephas make up a more potent strike force, I think, than we saw last week with Fabian Reed, Steve Clark, and Cephas. Here's the kickoff, and Mount Pleasant trying to go forward pretty early. Ezra Simpson takes care of business there. Hot, sunny conditions. Ezra Simpson, tall central defender for the Arnett Gardens team, who have completely turned around the miserable season they had last year, which was very unlike Arnett Gardens. Finished 9th last year with only 2 wins, Portmore and Humberland, in their 10 games. Those were the only games they won. Uncharacteristically weak offense as well. Only 8 goals Arnett Gardens scored last year. No team had scored below that number. Even Humberland, who finished bottom of the table, scored more goals than Arnett did last year. Here's Mount Pleasant on the attack. Strike on goal from Alwyn Harvey. He may be remembering his last fixture against this Arnett Gardens team, when after 3 minutes he scored. Nick Eden, the man now in charge at the Mount Pleasant team, and they've been having
you mean the goal that you called?
Yeah.
Whittaker?
Yeah, 3 minutes into the game at Sabina Park back in March.
Yes.
Yeah, Alwyn Harvey scored early.
It was a top strike though, certainly from some maybe 20-23 yards out.
Yeah. But Hamilton has the whistle. A leading referee in the country at the moment had the whistle. Oh, what a irrigation system has gone off in the middle of the game, so someone is out of timing in their job.
Well, I did comment on the field being very lush and may need a bit of water on it just to have a skimmy surface. I didn't think they would take me literally, Lance, and put it on during the game.
This is absolutely shocking. So how long,
a little early, eh?
Yeah. How long does it take them to correct it? Because it's still on.
Yeah, and it's obviously the timer has gone off, so they need to readjust that. It's not the first time we've seen that this season. There was a delay early in the season where a similar situation happened early in the game as well, like 15 minutes in. And it took them about 3 minutes to get them off, I must say. So no surprise here that it's taken a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, just last night we spoke about the need for maybe a little bit more grease on the surface, as we'd call it, to help the flow of play.
Yeah, Brent was commenting that the last time he would have been here at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex, the field didn't look as good as it does now. So it's obvious that a lot of good work has been done here.
Yeah, it's a good flat surface, but more importantly, it's lush in a lot of the field, all the surface. And it seems to be very, as I said, very good and conducive for football. As Chris was mentioning, the only pullback would have been the greasing of the surface, which we spoke about yesterday, and maybe the gods were listening to us. I certainly we spoke to the right persons within the Jamaica Premier League. So I'm not sure if between him and the gods, who are the ones that have the sprinklers on at the moment.
Yeah.
I've seen this before in my career. Normally it results in, well, I wouldn't say, because I don't think the viewers would want to know, but it results in a goal, and then normally the end where the sprinklers come on. In my career, it happened about 3 times before.
In the Caribbean, Brent? Or,
no,
or?
Certainly not in the Caribbean, in Scotland.
In Scotland, yeah.
And you would, I would have to say as well, we were the team defending the goal, and we conceded all 3 times the sprinkler came on.
Would that have been Dundee? You had played at Dundee?
At Dundee in Scotland, yeah. Dundee in Scotland, and... yeah, the sprinklers sometimes mean goals. So, for Mount Pleasant's sake,
who's defending this one?
I hope it doesn't. They don't, of course, endure the same fate that I did.
Yeah. Well, it's taking a little bit of time to undo the sprinklers, and they're down now. So we're gonna get a start pretty soon, I hope. So, rude interruption, we might say.
Approximately 3 minutes again.
Yeah. Yeah, so the game is going to restart now. There's Arnett Hamilton. Stood in the 2019 final between Waterhouse and Portmore, did she? And one of the top referees in the country at the moment, male or female. So here's a restart. And Arnett Gardens in possession. Top of their own half with the Simpson. Neil, Cephas, Cephas with possession. And there goes Martin. His cross, dangerous. Cephas over the top. Oh, that's a bad miss. He was 5 yards in front of the goal. Beat everyone for the connection and went over the top.
Yeah, it was always going to be a difficult chance for him. The ball, of course, looked like it was always heading upwards, and he could never get his head over it enough to make sure he heads it downwards. As you can see here, it's good. He got up well, but it was always going to be a challenge to actually head it downwards and towards goal. It's a good opening start there for Arnett.
Last week, Ronaldo Cephas missed quite a few opportunities early. Did get a goal in the game, but got some opportunities that you would expect him to bury. And I'm sure if you asked him, you would have thought that he hung a little bit in the air there. I thought he hung a little bit too long there. But yeah, that would have been a chance that you probably asked him. He said, yeah, I should have scored that one. But yeah, never got on top of it. But does seem to take a while to warm up, especially in the last few weeks.
Yeah. Foul there on the Arnett Gardens captain, Romeo Guthrie. Free kick to Arnett. Guthrie left the game last week with Malines with a calf injury. Sat out training early in the past week, but returned to full training on Friday and was past fit enough to play here. And Arnett certainly happy that their 23-year-old captain is fit for this fixture. A Mount Pleasant team Arnett hasn't had a whole lot of success against in recent times. Simpson.
2 surprises for me as well, Lance. Earl Simpson left out, even though he did get a red card 2 weeks ago. He's back on, he's on the bench. The number 4, he's out. And Ronaldo Cephas actually starting on the right hand side of things. We're used to seeing him on the left where he can cut in onto that talented right foot. And he's starting out on the opposite flank, so interested to see. He likes a cut in. I'm not sure how much he will cut in on the left.
Yeah. Neil challenging successfully for the ball there, and there's a fall. A free kick awarded to Arnett. Shandy James brought down. There's a challenge. McCullough on James. Free kick to Arnett. James is fine. Martin stands over the ball for Arnett. Goes way over to the left side. Gets Ajuma Johnson in. Guthrie. Johnson. Goes long forward, looking here for Marlon Allen. Goal kick won by Mount Pleasant. pretty hot conditions here. It's windy as well. Topi, transfer from Cavalier. Mount Pleasant with a right-sided challenge, but broken up by a smart Arnett defense line. Cunningham retrieves and gets it back to his goalkeeper Eric Edwards, who has been tremendous in goal for Arnett Gardens since coming over from Portmore. Neil. Ball cleared upfield. Over the touchline it goes, throw to Mount Pleasant, fairly high inside the Arnett half. Both teams taking a little time to settle, Brent. No real pattern or consistency developing yet in the series of passing.
Yeah, but I think Arnett would be the happy of the two. They've been able to impose themselves onto Mount Pleasant, certainly from a possession and territorial standpoint, where they seem very comfortable in position, particularly in the middle third. And I'm just looking at the defensive line of confrontation by Mount Pleasant. It's rather deep for my liking. I thought for a game of this magnitude they would have at least tried to pressure a bit higher up the pitch, and of course force the tempo of the game. Hasn't happened so far.
Yeah, I think they're a bit concerned as well of the pace of the Arnett, especially flank players.
Oh, delightful ball for Trevante Stewart, straight to Eric Edwards in goal. Wow, he was off balance under a lot of pressure, managed to get a shot off, but unfortunately for Mount Pleasant, goalkeeper Eric Edwards was right there.
Yeah, it's a good first touch. I thought he should have gone with his left foot there. He tried the difficult skill of flicking it with the right boot. He had enough time to kind of settle himself and place it with the left foot. So early chance, so
yeah,
may suggest that he's still getting into the game.
Morris goes wide here to Green. Stewart under pressure from Ezra and Simpson.
Was the man of the match last week, Trevante Stewart, 2 goals and an assist. So he's been riding high.
Delightful ball from Green, changes the angle of attack here, but unfortunately Javon Mills can't retrieve and the ball is over the touchline. Yeah, here's that earlier play here where Green delivered this delightful ball inside. Trevante Stewart got it. You're right.
It was a good first take, eh?
Yeah, good first take, but maybe the left-footed strike would have been a better option.
I think he was trying to trick Edwards in terms of what he was planning to do, but probably tricked himself in the end. Edwards was well positioned, and I certainly agree that had he taken it on the left foot, which had a delightful touch initially into the, what you'd call that, the near post, I think he would have had a better result. Maybe he thought that Edwards was going to commit, but Edwards stood his ground.
Yeah. Well, when these two teams met back in March at Sabina Park, Mount Pleasant were already leading here by 1-0 on a Alwyn Harvey strike. It would have taken a Kimani Arboin equaliser late in the game to earn Arnett a 1-1 scoreline there. Arnett have been winless against Mount Pleasant in their last 3 meetings. No wins against Mount Pleasant since December 2019, when Kemal Malcolm with a stoppage time strike gave them a 1-0 win. Malcolm now at Union Omaha in the USL League after having a stint in El Salvador. There's Trevante Stewart, who has come over from Malines and has already scored 5 times for Mount Pleasant. Yeah, this is going to be a tough match here. As he said, this is only the 4th season of top flight football for Mount Pleasant, but they have had good results against Arnett Gardens. 8 previous head-to-head meetings, 3 Mount Pleasant wins, 2 Arnett wins and 3 drawn results.
Well, there's a huge level of expectation with the Mount Pleasant charges. It's interesting when the team spends and invests the way they have. You'd suggest that they expect results.
Yeah.
Hey, look, come again. Hey, jump it.
Yeah, and I wonder if they started a bit too defensive though. Mount Pleasant. On paper 4-4-2, but it's clear that they're playing with 5 at the back. Really nervous about the pace of the Arnett Gardens attack. And even though they did get forward with one opportunity from Trevante Stewart, there's a big hole in the midfield because that defence line is so deep.
Arnett on the attack, throw very deep. Trevante Stewart being harassed here by Ezra and Simpson. Only now getting support. 3 men on the front end. Daniel Green, who's all over the place. You saw him on the left earlier, now he's on the right. Leading scorer in the league at the moment, Daniel Green with 12 strikes. Atafori Bygrave from Dunbeholden and Nicholas Nelson from Malines, the joint number 2 men in the Golden Boot race at the moment. Arnett on the attack. Martin. Neil.
That man Martin has had a really good season as well for Arnett Gardens. Love him as a defensive midfielder. Reads the game so well there, number 8.
Johnson's attempt to cross inside, met by Joel Paul.
Great work rate. Has had a couple, or at least one man of the match performance already, Martin. And it's one of those silent roles, that defensive midfield role, where it breaks up the play, a lot of the dirty work, but does it very well for Arnett Gardens, who, as I said, is such an attacking team that sometimes they don't pay attention to that role.
Yeah.
But he's been a solid part of their unit.
50-50 ball possession at the moment, so it's even on every count, on the scoreline and in time on the ball. James, oh, he gives the ball away. Topi with an easy interception. Tall, 6 feet 5 inches, Jamoy Topi. Had a brief stint in the USL Championship after leaving Cavalier. Went back to Cavalier to play last year, and on a mid-season transfer is now with Mount Pleasant. Sigri. Stewart. First touch not good enough. Fouled at the same time by Ezra Simpson as well. Free kick to Mount Pleasant, about 35 yards out.
Didn't need to there, really. Ball had lost its way across, and it's just a clumsy foul. And in a game that's this tight, sometimes those are the margins that could be the difference between all 3 points and 0 points.
Yeah.
And all 3 points from Mount Pleasant will take them ahead of Arnett Gardens in the table, so a big match for sure.
Ricardo Morse with a free kick. Referee Hamilton wants that retaken.
One of the good things for Mount Pleasant is, even though they have started deep and there's a big hole, when they do play that forward pass, Trevante Stewart is a forward who can play by himself.
Yeah. Green. He wants the ball back. Green doesn't get it. I think Martin kind of obstructed his path there just now. Allen. Arboyne. Allen has pace and youth on his side. His cross is disappointing though.
I think that's one of the obvious disadvantages of playing 5 at the back or 3 at the back, is that there is always space on the flanks, and so far Arnett Gardens have been able to exploit that space with the speed that they have on both sides. They just haven't had the quality in terms of execution of the crosses thus far. Mount Pleasant has to, of course, adjust to that, or at least address that situation, because you don't want to give a team too much joy, especially a team with this amount of pace within the attacking 4E that Arnett Gardens has.
Yeah. The fact is, Mount Pleasant haven't been as solid defensively as they had been in their previous 3 seasons. This is the worst season defensively that Mount Pleasant has had. And Arnett Gardens is having their characteristically strong, good offensive season. So the trend would suggest that Arnett will score today. Mount Pleasant, though, should score as well, because that's what they've been doing a lot of in recent weeks. Green. Oh, what a disappointing cross that was from Green.
And just to defend that, 6 goals conceded in their last 3 games,
yeah.
Mount Pleasant. And even though 2 of them have been victories, as you said, the opposition have found a way through.
Yeah.
Tivoli scored 1, Mullines 2, and Dumblew Holden 3. They played well in that game, Mount Pleasant, but lost 3-1. Didn't take their chances.
Yeah.
A bit surprised, though, that they have still gone for 3 centre-backs in this game. That's not something that they have done for most of the season.
Yeah.
They have generally played a traditional 4 at the back, but obviously, as you said, the ability to run the diagonals from Arnett Gardens and that pace on the flanks has made them a bit nervous.
Yeah, they had the best defensive record in their debut season back in 2018-19, conceding just 19 goals in their 33 matches. Next best were Cavalier. Their second season, 2019-2020, also they had the best defensive record, 22 goals in 29 matches, and last year they were among the top 4 in defense as well. This year they're only 5th in the defensive statistics, so just to bear the point out that defensively this Mount Pleasant team has performed below the level that it did in the previous 3 seasons.
Yeah, agreed. And as I said, even though it's not bad, because 5th overall is well, more or less mid-table, but as you said, based on their standard.
Yeah, they've been built on a powerhouse defensive strategy. But certainly the statistics would suggest that.
And early in the season, if you remember, Lance, they didn't lose until, was it match week 8? Up to that point, I think they had the best defensive record in the first few rounds, and then they lost their way.
Yeah, Sula McCalla has a knock there to the head, and he is going across to get some treatment. Not sure if there's any bleeding there, but he is in some discomfort for sure. Midway the first half, had some exciting moments, although no goals yet.
But it's been a good tactical battle between the both teams. Certainly a lot of respect being shown on both sides of it. As mentioned before, the 3-5-2 certainly suggests Mount Pleasant's respect for the pace that Arnett Gardens has. And a very deep back line by Arnett Gardens suggests, of course, their respect for their opponent.
Yeah. Just one change to the Mount Pleasant roster that defeated Tivoli by 4-1 last week, which was a really predictable result because Tivoli have been playing so well recently. They fought them 4-1. The cross inside by Cephas. Good defensive work there from the 32-year-old Mount Pleasant captain Ladale Ritchie, getting there with a header out. Mount Pleasant currently 4th on the table. Good offense so far this year. 33 goals. Only Waterhouse have scored more than they have. Mount Pleasant have scored 11 goals in their last 4 matches. So this is an informed scoring team. Rich's long ball upfield is not good enough. Too far away from Trevante Stewart to give the big forward a good opportunity to get it.
Yeah, the gap's still too big, Lance, so that's the problem for them. Not much midfield work being done by Mount Pleasant. 5 men deep, and then the midfielders as well forced to come back to help. So unless the ball is accurate to Trevante Stewart, they're always going to give up possession.
Foul committed. Free kick here to Mount Pleasant inside their own half.
Truth is, though, Trevante Stewart talented as a solo forward because he's so strong. He has pace, he has skill, and he's in form as well. If they find an accurate one, good skill there, eh?
Yeah, the youngest agree is a pretty skillful one. At left back, here comes Guthrie. Shandy James is taken down inside the box. He wants a penalty. He's upset that he hasn't gotten it. It was just outside the box.
Well, there was a lot of time in between looking at the infringement and the actual whistle. I would consider that the thought process. I'm still wasn't sold. I'll tell you what.
Much in that.
Not much.
Yeah, the challenge there from Ritchie was knocked Shandy James over, so the Arnett Gardens team with a free kick just by the D, and a pretty threatening position here.
Yeah, Odette Hamilton certainly went off of the assistant's advice, and that's why the hesitation was there. It was clear she was watching him. I don't think there was much there from the captain Ritchie, though. I think Shandy James bought it.
Yeah. Well, threatening position here. Maybe a a little bit too close to get the clearance of the wall and then the dip. But from a proximity standpoint, this has to be a threatening position here for Arnett Gardens, and Romeo Guthrie, the Arnett captain.
I like Johnson.
Looks interested.
I like Ajuma Johnson with a talented left foot from this kind of range.
Yeah.
Many forget, even though he's playing left back now, how many of these kind of situations he found himself in at Camperdown as a schoolboy.
Yeah.
How good he was.
This is a 7-man wall. Johnson with a strike. Oh, it looks as if it strikes the hand here of Richie. The appeal from the Arnett men. The referee is awarding a free kick, I think, to Mount Pleasant. Oh, I thought that struck the hand of Ladale Richie. He had the hand on his body, I think covering his abdominal area. Let's see it again.
High up. High up. Yeah.
But look at the wall. 7-man wall here set, and he went wide of the wall.
It certainly hit the sleeve of Richie, so it's legal. So a good call by Odette Hamilton there, but that was going to be some problems for goalkeeper Shavin Sean Paul had he gotten through.
Harborne, James, Guthrie. What a strike from Guthrie, but straight to Paul in the Mount Pleasant goal.
You do remember last week, Lance, the one goal that Tivoli did score was a free kick taken right at Shavin Sean Paul, and he fumbled it and allowed a tap-in for Warner Brown. So that's something to look out for.
Yeah.
How good will his hands be? That was a test as well. He dealt with it well. That ball's right in front of him as well.
Yeah. Harvey looking for Green there, but didn't give him much chance there. Too much weight on the pass and too far in front of him to give him a chance to get to it. Alwyn Harvey with a pass inside looking for Green, this man leading scorer in the Golden Boot race at the moment with 12 goals.
I think Green would be disappointed with the service he just got. He just needs a little bit of quality. Did everything correct. Green was waiting there, anticipating the ball coming across. Quality lacking.
Powell heads on here, but not effectively, and Allen now has it for Arnett, setting himself up here possibly for a right-footed strike, but robbed of the ball by Mills, who comes charging back for Mount Pleasant.
That's very late.
Yellow card is coming out.
You know, I never understand why players do that. They compound their error by putting themselves in the book. We saw it yesterday with the red card situation, and now we see it again today. That's extremely late. Yeah. Not necessary. The ball was going 50 yards up back to his teammate. Why make a challenge like that? Now put yourself in a position where you're playing the rest of the game with a yellow card.
A striker's challenge.
Well, I've had some good strikers playing alongside me, and their challenges weren't bad as that. That one is that was beyond and above.
Sigree Morris trying to slide the ball forward for Stewart, but doesn't find him. Sigree though with the second ball. Green. Good football here from Mount Pleasant. Oh, through the legs here by Donovan Sigree, shoved over by Ezran Simpson. Oh, but the ball had gotten away from Sigree, and he gets no sympathy from the referee.
Well, he certainly didn't play the ball, Simpson. He looked. That's a good bit of skill there.
Yes.
Like when he got around there, look at it there. Not even eyes on the ball. Yeah. And I tell you, if the referee had given that, there mightn't been a lot of complaints about it, because he never played the ball. He actually played the man.
I think when Sigree touched it though, he was looking to go down, and I think that's what went against him. Yeah, Sigree was looking to go down. But Lance, I would certainly say Sigree, in the top 3 left backs we've seen in the JPL this season, I think he's really had a good season. He's a talented player. Donovan Sigree was a Jamaica College standout in high school. Yeah. Won titles there, but he's done very well at left back for Mount Pleasant.
Played age group football for Barbican from under 15s through to under 17s to the seniors, then went on a football scholarship to Daytona State College in Florida before returning home. Played Premier League football for Barbican back in 2014-2015, and is a proud product of that fabulous club Barbican.
It's crazy to think that he's been playing Premier League since 2014. It's just the other day I remember him at Jamaica College. Can play in the midfield role as well. He's done that this season, but obviously Mount Pleasant need his skills at left back.
I thought you'd have taken me on there, Chris, about calling Barbican a fabulous club.
Oh, well.
Because they've only played one Premier League season. No, I said a product of the fabulous club Barbican.
Oh, yes.
But I'm a Barbican man,
so your bias.
Only one Premier League season for Barbican and immediately relegated. But they have a good youth program at the moment and sporting some solid under 15 and under 17 players at the moment. Johnson has good touches usually. That one wasn't that good. Arnett in possession here through Neil. Martin. Johnson. Powell gets in the way and gets rid of the ball. Ball retaining his spot here. I did say at the top that Jamoy Topi had come in. He replaced Prince Christie, who played last week. There's Paul Teagat-Davis, Premier League winning coach with Montego Bay United back in 2015-2016. Won Premier League football with Seba in his playing days and was Jamaica's leading all-time scorer, Paul Teagat-Davis, until the late Luton Shelton overtook him. Bandage around the head now of Sula McCallum, so there clearly was some bleeding there from the head blow he suffered earlier on. McCallum. Anyone just coming in now, they think McCallum is a Muslim. Don't think he is. Morris. Yeah, Morris and Powell exchanging passes, and here's Ladale Ritchie, the man who was with the Montego Bay United team in 2016 that Teagat-Davis coached to the title. Yeah, threatening ball in there, but Harvey not in a position to make Arnett pay.
Well, it's a sequence of play that you'd have to question. They would have had at least 10 to 15 passes in possession of the ball, and the last pass being, of course, a long searching ball and not really probing or putting the Arnett Garden team under pressure. And that suggests that they have to possess the ball higher up the park and try, of course, to find pockets within to, of course, to try and explore some offensive opportunities.
With a win today, Arnett will go joint second in the points table with Waterhouse, but still trailing them on goal difference. Here's Arnett with a cross inside. Topi gets the ball away. Shandy James doesn't get a proper strike on that. Should have done better. Gives the Mount Pleasant defenders a chance to scramble the ball away.
I would like to see Arnett switch flanks with Arboin and Cephas. I don't think it's working. We said how Cephas doesn't normally play on the right because he likes to cut in, and yeah, there's the opportunity. It was a total miskick from James. That's a difficult technique as well.
Yeah.
But I would love to see Arboin come to the right where he's a natural, and Cephas play on the left where he can run at players and cut in. I think they will.
Arboin with a head back. Oh, and Allen with a half volley strike, just turning the ball wide. Yeah, Arnett threatening now, and Mount Pleasant's defenders having a lot of work to do in the last 10 minutes or so. Yeah, there's the threatening ball. Arboin does well here to get the ball back.
Very well. Good defending though.
Yeah, Powell comes in there and snuffs the opportunity away.
Still always believe that teams must play with their strength, and their strongest attacking player at the moment is Ronaldo Cephas. Play him in his best position.
Yeah. Threatening cross in. Topi with a neat headed pass.
Without even knowing it, Mount Pleasant have basically nullified Cephas.
Mills to Powell. And gets Paul in. Topi. A Premier League winner, Topi, with Cavalier last year. Actually scored in the final as well with a headed goal early against Waterhouse, who we'll be seeing later on this evening as well. A real cracking doubleheader up this afternoon here at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex. Waterhouse and Tivoli coming up in the 7:30 game. Foul committed on Daniel Green by the Arnett captain. Free kick to Mount Pleasant. They haven't seen a lot of their attacking third in the last 10 minutes or so, which is a clear illustration that Arnett Gardens have taken a bit of a hold on the game.
Well, lovely cross-field pass a couple moments ago, but the tempo is much too slow from Mount Pleasant, so that's not working in their favour, which is why Brent alluded to the fact that 10-15 passes and then a nothing ball, a lofted ball forward. If they were playing at a better tempo, they'd be able to surge forward better. The transition would be smoother.
Well, there are 4 Mount Pleasant men now in white shirts across the 18-yard area. 3-man Arnett wall here being set up to fend off this free kick. But more numbers coming toward the box here now for Mount Pleasant. What a strike! Oh, that's a tremendous strike from Ricardo Morris! Oh, that was like a thunderous, bullet-like left-footed strike from the Jamaica international. Oh, that looked as if it deserved a goal.
Well, I wasn't sure if it was something out of the training ground because it looked a bit unsure in the action. But I tell you, once it left his boot, wow, heard it from up here.
Yeah, to be honest, although it went straight to Edwards, he didn't really look very convincing in making the stop. It was more like the ball hitting him than him punching the ball out.
I'm worried about his wrists. But he kept it out well.
Yeah, here's a strike from a different... That had a lot of power. Edwards is a solid goalkeeper, though. You're not going to beat him there.
What Edwards did well is he got the whole of his surface area behind it, so in case the hands failed, the body was there.
Yeah,
that was good
goalkeeping technique for sure. I mentioned Mount Pleasant with 11 goals in their last 4 matches. Arnett haven't been bad either. 10 goals in their last 5. Remember, Cephas with 8 goals. Only Daniel Green, Taforai, Bygrave, Nicholas Nelson and Cardell Benbow have scored more goals than he has. And the referee, Odette Hamilton, just having a word there. There's the Arnett supporter who was busily celebrating the Kimani Arborn goal last week. He has the same shirt on, I think.
But it's his lucky shoot. Why not? Hopefully another strike. Seemed to be getting a talking to by the official.
Yeah.
And he's not happy about it. I'm not sure if a spectator could get a red card. I have to check my FIFA law book.
well, ask the referee stroke umpire, Chris Taylor. I think so.
Well, he can be sent out to the stadium for sure. I'm not sure he will show on a card.
Yeah.
He can be escorted out from the officers, police force and so on, but I'm not sure about it. I don't think he can be shown a card.
Well, I'm looking at his body language and I'm starting to think to myself, did he get a red card? Because he doesn't look happy. That's for sure. It might be the consecutive way of the shirt.
He is heading for... He's out. Where is he now?
Well, you are certainly marching with purpose.
Yeah, so from hero to zero. The last time SportsMax featured him, he was celebrating that Arborn goal last week.
He's still early though, Lance. We would have to wait another 55 minutes or so before that kind of moment.
Well, that's what you get for wearing the same shirt twice.
Free kick. Yeah, and I see Sula McCullough has now lost the headpiece that he was wearing as I think protective, because I think there was some bleeding there. Free kick to Mount Pleasant though, and Eric Edwards is studying the moment. Wants to ensure that his wall is properly set up. He'll need probably a 3 or 4 man wall here. Yeah, he wants them to move to the left quickly as referee Hamilton sprays the spot where the players have to be behind. Yeah, 4 man wall set up. 2 men standing over the ball who will strike it. There's Green there and Ricardo Morris there as well. Maybe Morris with the left-footed strike, but Green has 12 goals to his credit so far this season, including a few beauties. It's Green! Oh! Into the side netting! Whoa, that one was a close call. Just a little bit too much bend on it.
Yeah, I think if that was on target, Edwards was in trouble because he couldn't move. He wanted to move the right foot, so it shows the pace of the shot from Green. Look at it here. He was skipping across, but I think that gap was too big. Had that been on target, the dip to Brent.
And he looked like a man that was very sure that it was not going in the back of the net. And I could tell you, where three of us sit, I wasn't sure, and I know both Chris and Lance wasn't sure as well, because that took a tremendous dip at the end.
Yeah,
and it looked like it may have just snuck in.
Played with extreme confidence at the moment. Leading scorer and Marlon Martin is down with an injury. Daniel Green has scored 19 goals in his Mount Pleasant career. Currently the leading scorer this season with 12. And just to emphasize how much of a big season it has been for him, in his previous 5 seasons in the Premier League, his first 2 at Waterhouses, of course, he had a combined total of 10 goals in 5 seasons, already surpassing that with a dozen so far this year. So this player has come to life.
He has been in top form, and Daniel Green with already 2 braces this season as well, so really tremendous in terms of his scoring ability. Players warming up already.
Yeah. Where's Martin? He's taken off on the side behind the goal.
He's up though, and he's working the legs just to...
Yeah, I think the medical staff is trying to ensure that he's good enough to continue.
That would be a big loss. He's a big part of this Arnett Gardens solidity.
That's for sure. Foul committed on Shandy James, free kick to Arnett.
And you do remember for the early part of the season especially, Arnett Gardens gave away needless goals as well. The communication in the central part of their defence was a problem. Martin playing in the central midfield role has protected them very well, and it's been better as the season has gone on.
Yeah. Morris with the ball for Mount Pleasant. Trevante Stewart being roughed up here by Cunningham. The Arnett defenders have done a good job so far on Stewart. Yeah, foul there by McCalla on Cephas. Free kick to Arnett, high inside the Mount Pleasant half, but the kick not taken from that spot. Neil.
Mount Pleasant have designed their defensive line very well. I think Topi and Sigri is a good pair to deal with the likes of Cephas. I think Cephas on the other flank would have Mills, who has been brought into the team, so he's trying to find his feet. And Powell, who has not been a regular starter as well. That would be a better matchup from an Arnett Gardens perspective. So I'm surprised that they haven't made that switch, and we're almost at the end of the first half.
Yeah, just about 3.5 minutes remaining. Ball crossed a little bit behind Cephas here. Cephas has a lot of pace, knocked over by Sigri.
It's clumsy.
Yeah, clumsy, but I think because of Cephas's pace, he invited that kind of challenge from Sigri, because everyone knows that you cannot allow Cephas any comfort near to the goal area, and I think that's what triggered that Sigri foul. Yeah, let's see if they'll pay for it.
Guthrie, I think, likes it, but this angle is probably better suited for Juma Johnson with a left foot.
Yeah, who's coming across and showing some interest as well. A 5-man wall here set up by Mount Pleasant, so not the first time in this half that we've seen Mount Pleasant setting up a strong looking wall to keep out an Arnett Gardens strike. Guthrie, high.
It's a difficult skill, especially when you're that close to goal, to get it up and bring it back down. Normally in and around that area, he's trying to go for pace. He looked like he tried to guide it around the wall, but it was always going to be a big ask.
There was no dip. There was no dip, and as a right footer, you have to get that very precise. The angle didn't really suit him. And the first kick from Johnson was actually pretty good. Had it got past the arm of Ladale Ritchie on that occasion, he would have been in business, so I'm surprised they didn't give him another chance.
Ball slid through here to Cephas, who goes for goal! And a vital challenge there coming from Ladale Ritchie. Sliding the ball behind for a corner.
If you look at it here, you'll see Marlon Martin just zoning in. Had Ritchie missed that, Martin would have had a tap in.
That's right. There's good quick action there from Cephas, who apart from his pace, his balance is another strong point that he has. Pivots well and kicks with both feet. Johnston's cross is threatening. Martin's knocked over from the header. Couple of bodies tumbling over there in the box. Whistle coming from referee Arnett Hamilton, and there's going to be some attention for the Mount Pleasant defender Jamoy Topi, who is down. Looks to have been struck in the head.
I think it was Trevante Stewart. I'm looking at his challenge and wondering if there could be claims for a penalty there. It was very, very clumsy at best, and certainly disruptive. Good delivery again. I believe it's Trevante, so when he comes back across.
I mean, that was Sule Makala. Not sure. I think actually that Ezran Simpson was in an offside position and then came from the offside position to challenge in that mix-up. The flag didn't go up, but he was obviously in an offside position initially, and I think he had initially fouled Topi.
Yeah.
But then Trevante just tried to bulldoze himself into the mix.
Yeah, Topi a little bit shaken there. 22 years old now, Topi. Said played a season with the Philadelphia Union in the USL Championship. 5 minutes of added time anticipated here, and we're told that the spectator that we just focused on has been sent out of the park. Not for the first time, we're told, for disturbing the match officials.
Disturbing the peace.
Oh.
Does that mean he missed the next game? He gets turned away when he gets to the gate.
Not good that it's a repeat offence as well. So
yeah.
Something he needs to look at.
Right. And in a territory that excellent love music was born out of here in Trenchtown. Bob Marley and the Wailers, just 100 yards or so away from this venue, made a lot of their music. Martin. Neil. Cephas. Allen in the box waiting for a cross. Still Cephas. Neil. Yeah, I think they made the wrong choice there going down the flank side. Should have turned the ball in. That would have been the safer play. Topi knocked over after trying to exhibit some skills there on Neil.
It's a very lucky boy. Centre half trying to do a Zinedine Zidane.
I was going to remind you that we were renaming that. Not the roly-poly, but the Zizou.
Powell from Mount Pleasant. 5 minutes added on for stoppages. Remember, the sprinklers had come on early in the game here and had stopped the game for over 3 minutes. Sigri, Topi.
The Sancho curse didn't work though.
Oh yeah.
Pleasant haven't conceded.
Yeah, they've looked a little bit dodgy at the back a few times, but no goals conceded. Makala back to his captain Richie. Now Topi. The Guyanese Kevin Lane, the 24-year-old who played for the Guyana Defence Force in Amsterdam, not on the roster today for Mount Pleasant. Here comes Morris, being harassed here by Arboin. Arboin does really good defensive work here and breaks the play up. Shandy James for Arnett. Good skill from James. Now holds the ball a little bit too long, but still has possession. Now he gives the ball away, and Sigri being challenged here by Cephas, who robs the ball, but referee Hamilton says not legitimately.
Wow. I don't think Cephas did anything wrong there. I'm a bit surprised at that call. Cephas doesn't argue, but I think Sigri was lucky to get away there. I think he tripped over the ball. But I agree, Lance. James just a little bit too long.
Yeah. Neat pass here. Here comes Green. Doesn't get by Cunningham, who stands firm in front of him. Cunningham, tall, assured kind of central defender. Yeah, so the first half. Just having about a minute and a half left on it. And fairly satisfying first half offensively for Arnett Gardens. Even though they haven't scored. They have looked more threatening than Mount Pleasant has.
What I'd like to see more, and it's something I've noticed in our JPL, the unwillingness of players to use their weaker foot, especially in striking positions, when a defender does lock you down. Not willing to try what we'd call in Jamaica the board foot, you know, and take a chance.
Stewart under some pressure here from Simpson, sets the ball back here to Green, who can't get the ball into a shooting position because Martin pounces on him immediately. Powell for Mount Pleasant. I think he went for goal there. Poor effort. Less than a minute of stoppage time remaining. There's Powell with the effort. In many ways an even first half here between these two teams. Mount Pleasant haven't looked particularly threatened or flustered, but Arnett have looked more potent. Cunningham, Johnson, Martin, James, still James, still James, goes for goal James! Not a man effort. Caught the attention of goalkeeper Paul. And there's referee Odette Hamilton's whistle for the end of the first half. Fairly entertaining. Moments of good football from both teams, but no goals yet.
Yeah, no goals yet. I think from a Mount Pleasant perspective, the tempo has to be a little bit higher. And of course, they need to impose themselves a little bit more on the Arnett Gardens teams that seem to have the joy of possessing the ball and the freedom to possess the ball, particularly in the middle third, which have made them, I would say, shave this half so far.
Yeah, so 0-0 after 45 minutes here between Arnett Gardens and Mount Pleasant, number 3 against number 4. And fans in the stands, well, the number is certainly increasing since we had the 5 o'clock start, as the teams go into the changing rooms now after a battle, scoreless battle between these two teams. Arnett Gardens, 5-time champions of the Premier League, Mount Pleasant in their 4th Premier League season. the Tony Spalding Sports Complex. It's half time in the Jamaica Premier League fixture between number 3 Arnett and number 4 Mount Pleasant Academy, and no goals yet in this fixture. Here's what happened in the first half. Referee Arnett Hamilton sends them off. There was a short delay because the sprinklers inadvertently went on. Martin with this cross inside, and the header on goal by Cephas is over the top, and he's disappointed because he feels he should have done better. Mount Pleasant would respond here. Travate Stewart finding himself being harassed here by Cunningham and Simpson. Can't get a proper strike off, and it hits it straight into the arms of Edwards in goal. Strong shot from distance here, and this is the powerhouse of a shot from Ricardo Morris, straight though to Eric Edwards. He just two-fisted punches the ball away. Over top, the top with that effort there from distance. Shandy James dribbling on goal here, goes for goal here, not a bad effort, but drags it just slightly wide. No goals here in the first half, but some good moments here for both teams. Only one shot on target for Arnett Gardens from 6 attempts, 2 shots on target from Mount Pleasant from 3 attempts. 15 fouls in the match so far, 8 of them for Arnett players, 1 yellow card so far in the fixture. Arnett's Edwards has brought off 2 saves, 1 save so far for Shavin Paul in the Mount Pleasant goal. Mount Pleasant having more time on the ball at 53%. To take us to the break now, here's a recap of what happened in Sunday's matches of match week 20.
Here we go with the highlights, full match highlights. Mason, Christopher, the referee. Phillips plays in a tough forward Bygrave. You felt this was goal number 12, but Benjamin Williams saved very well. And then Bygrave, rush of blood when composure was needed. Dunholden's ace marksman fluffing his lines badly. And then this, Saniki Burton gets head and the shoulder onto it. Over the bar. Great chance of Portmore will be built here. MacDonald frees Shea Smith. It's it run just a little bit too wide and could only clip it into the arms of Damien Hyatt. Christian finds McGregor. Stephen Young sticking to him like glue. Shakes him off at the last minute, and his pass to a top forward Bygrave is blocked by Chavoy Watkin and cleared in the end. This is Shea Smith, a turn of pace, leaving the Dunbeholden defenders for dead, and a good firm drive with the left foot. But look at Siddiqui Burton in the right place to effect the clearance. Rousseau drove that free kick low. This is James to McGregor. McGregor puts the cross in, and Bygrave must score. He misses up top forward Bygrave unbelievably from that range, and he was soon taken off. This is Shea Smith into the box and weaved away from Duar, but couldn't get anything on the shot, couldn't get the right connection. And then at the death, Demario Phillips, look at this free kick on target, and he finds the back of the net. Goalkeeper Benjamin Williams getting his feet wrong. He looks at this replay, Benjamin, look at the right foot. That's not where he pushed off from, it was the left, and he couldn't get over with any, couldn't get any explosiveness in the dive, and he was beaten to his right. And Phillips with the rather weird celebration, but he can celebrate all he wants and however he wants. His goal separating the teams 1-0. Highlights, Colin Anderson, 13th minute. A few fortunate touches and then a certain touch for the goal. Weak defending from the Malines boys, and Anderson tucking home his 4th of the season. Just more determined, more fight shown by him, and he bullies his way to the ball for an easy finish. Kyle Ming and Anderson racing away. Harrison comes out, has to tackle, clatters Colin Anderson. That was a yellow card offence, penalty, and Richard King made it look easy. 2-0 to Cavalier, and he started fretting for Malines United from that point in the match. Jaheim Harris was a first half substitute for Malines. He wasn't the substitution enforced by injury. They were just so awful, Malines, that they had to reshuffle the deck. Kadale Irving produced a brilliant cross that Dwayne Atkinson couldn't turn home. And he wondered if today was going to be his day. Then Sir Genie Franks, in a moment of madness, held the ball for too long. And then when it got away from him, he went in wild, an agricultural tackle on Kyle Ming. And for that, he was given a straight red card by referee Duar. Malines woes compounded. Second half, Irving to Webster. Watch Atkinson. Watch Atkinson. Watch the ball. Ball's the back of the net. That was 3-0. Atkinson, name on the score sheet. Webster was rather profligate today, but the assist, the ball was good. And then look at this. Nicoche Murray plays Kyle Ming. Look at Gibbons with the overlapping run, the underlapping run. And the cross is good, and look at the finish from Dwayne Atkinson. The top strikers in this league would have been proud of this finish. He's a forward, not a striker, Dwayne Atkinson, but that was a striker's finish. Expertly done. For his second on the afternoon. Then Nicholas Nelson combining with Jaheim Harris took a touch, fouled by Gibbons. See the double fist pump there. His captain from 12 yards makes no mistake. Number 11 on the season for Nicholas Nelson, joined second in the Golden Boot race, one behind Daniel Green, the Mount Pleasant man who's leading the pack. Nelson gets his goal, denying Cavalier the clean sheet. So 4-1 in the end.
Week 20 in the Jamaica Premier League, powered by Digicel, continuing here at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex. And Arnett Gardens are up against Mount Pleasant here. There's referee Arnett Hamilton getting ready to restart this game. The Arnett Gardens team still in their locker room and yet to come out to the field of play, maybe getting some extended words of inspiration from their coach Paul Teagat Davis and assistant coach Eric Radimakers. Arnett Hamilton, pretty fit referee, played college volleyball for GC Foster College in her college years and still looks very, very fit, as she should be, because FIFA referees, Brent, have to pass some pretty grueling fitness tests.
Yeah, certainly. They do have their work cut out for them. Of course, their standards are not just set here in Jamaica, but throughout CONCACAF and by extension FIFA. I'm sure our very good friend Peter Pendergrass would agree with the officiating regime that they would have to go through would have been, of course, increased over the years. And we have not have been fortunate to produce a referee, an official like Mr. Pendergrass, in a very long time, but I'm sure that is going to change soon as we continue to develop our officials in the region.
The Danian Parchment and O'Shane Nation and the Grenadian ref who did some of those World Cup matches, among the more prominent FIFA referees in the region at the moment.
A lot more females coming up to the top tier as well, and Arnett Hamilton, well thought of in the CONCACAF region, a tier 1 referee, so doing well for herself. We've seen other female referees from our own region, a couple in Jamaica as well. Nerissa Golson as one who has been put to the FIFA panel, so good representation. The assistant referees, Stephanie Dale Heasing as well, Princess Brown, so females making a big statement in the Caribbean in terms of officiating. But yeah, none really have reached the heights of Peter Prendergrass thus far, who was a World Cup representative. Yeah,
Ramesh Ramdan from Trinidad,
who went to the World Cup before him.
Yeah, 98 in France.
Peter went in 2002.
That's right.
Should have returned and then got injured.
Green back here to Morris. Very confident on the ball, Green. Now he is stripped by Johnson. Free kick to Mount Pleasant. Waiver on the right flank. Johnson guilty of that foul. Pretty tricky player, Green. A huge fan of the Brazilian star Neymar. Played Olympic qualifying football in Jamaica 3 or 4 years ago. An unsuccessful group qualifying competition that was played right here at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex, won by St. Kitts and Nevis. The cross inside, dangerous cross header, but harmless. Good height there made by Trevante Stewart, but just didn't get the pace and the angle on the header to trouble goalkeeper Eric Edwards, who is one of the best in the league at the moment.
Yeah, good height, tall individual, well challenged by Ezra and Simpson as well, so it wasn't easy for Stewart, but as you said, couldn't get the snap in the head.
Yeah,
you'd have to say good defending.
James very, very skillful and tricky. Mills is pulling him down. That's going to be a yellow card. Yeah, Shandy James, very, very skillful player. A handful there for Mills, who tracked him with determination. You could almost see that Mills was going to foul him in the way that he was chasing him.
Needed to be careful, Shandy James, that he didn't throw that arm, because even if he was being fouled, had he thrown that arm like he looked like he was going to do, see there, yes, that left arm came around, and had that made a proper connection, he could have been off for something like that.
Yeah, we've seen so many red cards for players retaliating. We understand his frustration because he was getting clear into a challenging, probably goal-scoring position, or able to make a goal-scoring pass. Anyway, oh, look at the number of red and black shirts across the box for Arnett. Hoping that Johnson can deliver this to one of them. though, battling a head injury. McCallum with the headed clearance. James again. Oh, good no-look pass that was. Cunningham goes wide. Johnson, cross, dangerous. Oh, fine take there by Paul. Very, very adept in goals, Shavin Paul.
Tell you what, that's a safe pair of hands there. Thought he would have opted to punch it, but he had a lot of faith in that well, I wouldn't say latex, but that well-designed goalkeeping gloves.
Yeah,
because it stuck to him.
Lots of experience for Shavin Sean Paul as well.
Premier League Championship winner 2018 and 2019, Shavin Paul won the 2018 final on penalties over Waterhouse, and here's a strike on goal that just doesn't miss by far. James there, man, that has injected a lot of quality in this Arnett Gardens midfield. Yeah, turned really well there, but his shot was just off target.
Not a bad strike, would have had Paul in trouble.
Yeah.
Do you remember Paul being the reserve goalkeeper for a while for the Reggae Boys? Was involved in the national program as well, then got injured.
Yeah.
And he has never really come back in the same way.
Delightful ball for Trevante Stewart. The cross dangerous, but too close to goalkeeper Edwards, who wants the transition play started immediately. Arboin being chased here by Powell. Still Arboin. Powell has his measure.
The problem for Arboin on the left, though, Lance, is that he's only willing to dribble with the left foot. He's not willing to dribble with the right foot and not the left. So he's always showing the ball to the defender. I'm very surprised that Paul Teagat Davis has still not made that swap.
Martin. James, just has the ball bobbling in his feet a bit there. Green goes forward. Stewart is getting away. Stewart, what a strike! Left footed! Mount Pleasant 1-0 on Arnett. So the Arnett fans here quiet for the moment. Delightful ball played from midfield. Stewart doesn't miss though. He was well away, hounded partially, but got a solid left-footed strike on that. Make that goal number 8 on the season now for Trevante Stewart. 6 of those goals for Arnett Gardens. Simpson chasing. Big Stewart fends him off and powers the left-footed strike past Edwards.
But Simpson always looked like he was struggling to keep up with Stewart, but that's good power, pace and position to put it into the back of the net. What a top quality finish there. We've seen those in the past go over the bar, but Stewart made no mistake. One chance, one goal.
Well, we spoke about the ability of Trevante Stewart to play as a lone striker up front, and that was the outlet for them because of his strength, and he has pace, which a lot of persons don't realize about him. And they're in a solo option. He's always going to be stronger than Ezra and Simpson. And yeah, we've seen him with some quality finishes so far this season, willing to finish with both the left and the right. And as you said, very easy to kick that over the bar in a tight space there because he went near post. A quality finish for a man in form. Started the season at Malines United, scored 2 goals there, and it's transitioned to Mount Pleasant. He's really blossomed, Trevante Stewart. His game has really gotten better. A man who would have known this ground very well because went to school at Charlie Smith, was a good schoolboy player.
Yeah. Romeo Guthrie gets a yellow card here, and Mount Pleasant player is down hurt. It's Harvey challenging for the ball here. Yeah, slapped in the face there by Guthrie as he just swung his right arm around. Yeah, so the Arnett Gardens captain gets a yellow card, and Alwyn Harvey, who was challenging strongly for the ball, looks as if he'll be okay, but just got a bit of a slap in the face there that I guess wouldn't have been too painful.
I think it's very clear what Mount Pleasant intention has been from the very start of this game. They were looking for that matchup, that ball over the top, that man there, Stewart, to run onto.
Yeah, they were searching for it a few times. We did see them deliver those passes forward, and it worked for them this time.
Yeah, it did work for them.
And again, it was that Daniel Green, Trevante Stewart link-up, agreeing with the assist.
Yeah.
For once, was able to play the ball into space, which allowed Trevante Stewart not only to use his pace, but his strength.
Yeah, James much too hasty with that pass. He had time, and now we are seeing Cephas moving over onto the left side, as Chris Taylor has been recommending for the past 45 minutes. Stewart on the left, the goal scorer, man of the moment for Mount Pleasant. McCullough. Mills. Powell. The captain, LaDale Ritchie. Overhit there by Ritchie. Since Nick Eden, the Mount Pleasant coach, took over this team in mid-April, they've had 4 wins and 1 loss, scoring an eye-catching 12 goals now in 4.5 matches. And Eden himself a player, a defender in England, played with Barnsley, Birmingham City and Wigan among the clubs he played for in a 17-year career between 1992 and 2009. Now based in Jamaica now, guiding the fortunes of Mount Pleasant.
Brent Sancho would have played against him as well, Lance, when Nick was playing at Nottingham Forest.
Yes, that's right. Nottingham Forest, by the way, back in the English Premier League.
After 20 odd years, 30 something years I think it is.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
It's a massive club, Nottingham Forest.
Yeah,
well supported.
I remember when I was in England studying in 1986, Nottingham Forest were a top team. Very, very...
Under Brian Clough.
Yeah. Not to mention the millions of pounds their qualification for the Premier League will now be to them. Stewart, left-footed strike by Stewart. Oh, that didn't miss by much. Enterprising effort there from the big man.
Nifty with his footwork. We've realized that all season about Trevante Stewart. Yes, at Malines, so much about physicality, but as I said, his game has grown. You've seen the skill come out pretty quick with his feet as well for a big man, and yeah, that's not a bad attempt either. Has an eye for goal, Trevante Stewart.
Yeah. Toe piece down hurt. Yeah. Martin was going for the ball, but just a bit late there and caught Topi just above the ankle, I think. And Martin himself is hurt as well. So 56 minutes in, and Mount Pleasant on the Trevante Stewart strike leads. Yeah, here's where that happened. Yeah, clash of legs there.
Yeah, almost looks like his left foot grazed the outside of Topi's foot. That's definitely painful, certainly initially.
Yeah, the sun leaving us now, so the conditions a little bit cooler, and I think the players now will enjoy the slight drop in temperature. There's Arnett Gardens.
Pretty strong breeze in the back of Mount Pleasant as well, which is why we've seen some overhit passes when they've gone the aerial route.
Yeah.
So that will aid their strikes on goal as well if they think about it.
Martin. Cunningham. Cephas. Back to Martin. Yeah, Shandy James's first touch, not as good as it needed to be. Harvey unable to keep that one in, and here's Guthrie now for Arnett. Good swift challenge there from Topi, breaking the attack up. McCullough sends Stewart running to the left channel. Tries to get by Cunningham, doesn't beat him, but has he won a throw? No, he hasn't. The throw is awarded to Arnett.
I tell you, it's a good test for Arnett Gardens now. I think the goal has taken the stuffing out of them a bit. They're going to have to regain the sort of play that we saw in the first half. Certainly where they enjoyed the territorial advantage, not necessarily had the goal mouth action that the possession that they had should have indicated. That being said, they still have a lot of time on the clock.
Cephas gets away from Powell here. Powell recovers. Cephas is cross-threatening. Just a little bit too high there for Marlon Allen. Arboyne. There's a whistle. Free kick to Mount Pleasant. Arboyne may be in an offside position there as we approach the hour mark. Two teams pretty certain for playoff football. Eric Rademacher, the assistant coach of Arnett Gardens, said before game time that they're just trying to get this Arnett Gardens team to peak at the right time. Rademacher's there in conversation with Paul Teagat Davis, the head coach. 5-time champions of the Premier League, Arnett Gardens, runners up 4 times. And at the moment there are 4 Kingston and St Andrew teams in the top 6 for the playoffs. Arnett Gardens will tell you that they don't lose in finals to corporate area teams. Runners up 4 times. Reno, 1991 they lost to. 1993 they were runners up to Hazard. 97 they were runners up to Seba. 2003 they were runners up to Hazard. So when it comes to a Premier League final, Arnett will argue that you have to be out of town to threaten them.
They dominate their territory.
Topi's down again.
They're a good playoff team as well, just generally though, Arnett Gardens. They certainly have had seasons where they struggle. You remember a season, was it what? Couple of seasons ago, the last time they won, I think they barely scraped into the playoffs in a 6th position and then, you know, took the bull by the horns. So it is a team that thrive on knockout matches and when things really count, they're a hard team to beat.
Yeah, for sure. There's Benbow from the Waterhouse team. They come up later in the fixture. Yeah, you're right, Chris. The last time Arnett were Premier League champions, 2016-2017, they were actually 6th in the regular season and only confirmed that. There's Ataforai Bygrave leading joint 2nd leading scorer in the league at the moment with his 11 goals. Of course, Waterhouse and Tivoli getting ready for battle in the 7:30 local time fixture. Yeah, they won their last 4 games of that regular season to confirm their spot in the top 6 and a playoff spot, Arnett, and then went all the way to win the championship, defeating Portmore in the final. Here comes Arnett on the attack. Good ball forward here for Cephas. Goes for goal! Oh, it hits the crossbar! I believe Paul got a fingertip to it. That has gone behind for a corner. Oh, this man is special. Cephas.
Yeah, that's what he loves to do. Ronaldo Cephas cut into that on that right foot. Quick feet. That was a top save by Shavin Sean Paul, probably one of the best of the season. That was certainly heading into the far corner.
Yeah.
And that was an outstanding save. And he might be injured as well, Paul. I think he overstretched. Look at it here. You know he's going on to the right foot, but he's so skillful and quick, Cephas. Yeah, I think it brushed the left hand.
Yeah, definitely got a touch there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a top save. That was going in for sure.
Yeah. Outstanding save from Shavin Paul. And Cephas is a player with moments. Quite often you might see him looking pretty tame throughout a game, and then he just has these moments where he comes up with something special. And of course his constant extreme pace is a bother to his opponents. Shandy James wants to get across inside, doesn't see many options at the moment. Now he gets away from his man, the cross, dangerous on the near post. Paul again makes a fine save. So Mount Pleasant are leading, or their defenders and their goalkeeper are busy.
Well, I did ask for a reaction from Arnett Gardens, and it has come to fruition. They're now starting to turn the screws here, and their lively players, Seafort and Co, are starting to find some joy.
Arnett on the advance. Shandy James knocked over here by Ricardo Morris, who gets a yellow card from referee Odette Hamilton. No resistance from Morris, who accepts the yellow card. Second yellow card in the game for a challenge on Shandy James. He's that kind of player.
That's one way to stop him.
Yeah.
I tell you what, he's been. What I like about him is his ability to run at defenders. When you have a midfielder that's willing to break lines, get in beyond, and of course take defenders on, draw defenders to him, it is a dangerous characteristic for a midfielder. Really a joy to watch.
It's the first I've seen him play this way this season, where he has actually taken on defenders in the way he has been aggressive with his attacking play. We remember him as a schoolboy at Clarendon College. He was an explosive player, very good creator, talented with his feet. But for Arnett Gardens, he's sat most of the time. He hasn't really looked to be aggressive. And this match, he's certainly showing what he can do.
Arnett in possession. Johnson. Allen shows too much of the ball there to McCallan, loses it.
This hasn't really been a good game for Marlon Allen.
Poor cross there by Stewart, and he apologizes immediately. There are a couple of players in the box waiting for the cross, and he just didn't find them.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a switch soon, Lance, where Marlon Allen comes out and you probably go for the experience of Fabian Reed, because I think Allen has been a bit off today.
Yeah. Got the start today. Last weekend, Reed and Steve Clark were preferred to Allen and Arboin.
I don't think they would go for Clark unless they're looking to take off Arboin.
James trying to find Cephas there, but not finding him. Well read there by the experienced Ladale Ritchie.
Well, the unfortunate thing for Clark is that although he gives you the energy from the flanks and the pace, he doesn't have the goals to go with it this season. He hasn't really been able, he hasn't found the back of the net at all, and even in the assist column he has nothing to speak about. So difficult when you're looking for goals to go to a man like that who hasn't given you any, versus a Premier League champion, golden boot winner, all those things in Fabian Reed.
Yeah. Yeah, Cephas didn't want that. Ladale Ritchie isn't the kind of defender you play around with. You won't enjoy going into 50-50 situations with him. Careless play there by Ajuma Johnson, just taking his eyes off the ball. Yeah, there's the big man. Made his way into the Reggae Boys setup.
Got injured mid-season as well, and Mount Pleasant really felt the effects of that. It was around the time where they were having a little bit of a rut, and it was partly because their captain was missing and central defender, that leader in the back line, which we spoke about in yesterday's football action as well. The need for that leader in your central defence, and he certainly is that.
Cephas's pass forward is off target. Yeah, this is the Mount Pleasant game, but their passing is a bit off now. Shandy James tripped by McCullough, free kick. Again, Shandy James is fouled because of his ball handling skills and his speed. Players will always be trying to stop him whichever way they can.
I'm not sure what that was from Ajuma Johnson. We spoke so highly of his left foot and his ability to whip balls in, but that was ridiculous from the Arnett Gardens number 10. He's had a couple of games that makes you wonder if he is gone dreaming. Well, Fabian Reed and Steve Clark.
Yeah, these two men started last week ahead of Allen and Arboin. Arboin is coming off.
And Allen.
Yeah, there goes Fabian Reed, the 30-year-old. High-scoring Premier League forward for Arnett Gardens, 56 goals. Leading scorer for Arnett, and there's Stevie Clark as well, he's on. Reed was Arnett's leading scorer in 2016-2017 when they were last champions. Following season 2017-2018, he was joint Golden Boot winner with 16 goals, jointly with Craig Foster. And he was also Arnett's scoring leader in 2018-2019 as well with 11 goals. So on his log, Fabian Reid is a big impact player. And Trevante Stewart is holding on to his left hamstring. So there could be problems there for the big Mount Pleasant forward.
That's not a good sign for Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
He's certainly done a good job of running the lines. You're looking, all the taping on his body suggests that he may have been, of course, nursing an injury prior.
Yeah. Went for that one.
He's still holding it.
Went for that one a bit half-heartedly.
He's not going to be able to run off that. I think that will be it for him. And it doesn't look like just a cramp. It looked like something a little bit more severe.
Bad pass by Cunningham, looking for Johnson, but much too far forward for Johnson.
Stewart is telling the bench to wait. He doesn't really want to come off yet, so he's trying to see if he can work it back in, but I'm not so sure.
Not with an hamstring.
No.
Goes from bad to worse.
Fabian Reid, first touch coming on as a substitute. Johnson. Still Johnson. Oh, does well. Turns Mills inside out. The cross inside. The header out by Topi. Arnett pressing and pressing. 20 minutes remaining. Well taken by Shandy James. Well, initially the first touch looked good, but it wasn't good enough. Trevante Stewart is breaking free again. Yeah, just saw him wanting to get rid of the ball as quickly as possible there because he doesn't trust his leg because he's feeling pain. James. Reid goes for goal. Reid just wide.
Paco Black says he's commonly called Fabian Reid. Dangerous man in and around that 18-yard box. Lots of experience. And as you said, Lance, he's been the leading goal scorer for Arnett Gardens in so many seasons.
Yeah.
56 in a career, just 3 on the season, but it's been plagued with injury. Also a player who is willing to drop into that attacking midfield role as well. We've seen that this season so far. So as you said, getting older and getting more versatile.
Yeah, he is, and he's open to playing in whatever position the coach wants him to play. So in some shape or form, a utility man. Trevante Stewart. There's O'Shane Roberts warming up there for Mount Pleasant. Let's see what happens here with Stewart. The SportsMax at moment comes here with Daniel Green's long pass forward there, about 40 yards that pass was. Trevante Stewart gets onto the end of it, fights off the challenging Ezran Simpson, the Arnett defender, and rifles the left-footed strike on goal. Eric Edwards has no chance. Mount Pleasant 1, Arnett 0, the SportsMax at moment of the game. Unfortunately for Stewart though, some hamstring trouble now has him off the park.
Yeah, I think that was a wise decision to take him off, because had he stayed on and it gotten any worse, you might have lost him for the rest of the season. At least now you can nurse it, get some ice on it and rest. But yeah, you look back at that goal, lads, you wonder what was Joel Cunningham doing. He was in no man's land as a left back. Certainly exposed his central defender a lot more because there was no coverage. It was an easy pass for Daniel Green.
Yeah.
And anyhow, it's in the book.
Cleon Price and O'Shane Roberts warming up to come on for Mount Pleasant as they try to secure the game here. Leading Arnett by 1-0. Arnett have not beaten Mount Pleasant since December 2019, as I said, so Mount Pleasant have had a good record against this Arnett team. Oh, those donuts look delicious. Yeah, they are, I guess.
Prestige donuts, was it? It's a bit too sweet for my liking, Lance.
Too sweet to beat.
Price is on for Trevante Stewart, so Stewart's night is over. And Cleon Price on for Mount Pleasant now.
But as you mentioned, the head-to-head lands, 2 wins, 2 draws out of the last 5 matches for Mount Pleasant. So it's actually been a fixture that they have managed pretty well, as they're doing here again today with a 1-0 lead. So as you know, everything is about matchups, and obviously the Mount Pleasant coaching staff over time has enjoyed this one.
Yeah. Paul's long kick out. Edwards has it safely in goal for Arnett. The speedy Cephas is fouled by Powell. Free kick to Mount Pleasant. Powell is in agreement with the referee's call, but it's an Arnett free kick on the left.
But again, in those 2 or 3 moments, you see the difference with Cephas on this side. The defense are very unsure as to what to do. I'm a bit surprised they've taken just so long, and this is why coming into the game, I think the tactics were a bit wrong from Arnett Gardens. It took too long to adjust. It's still not too late, but yeah.
Johnson with a free kick here for Arnett, looking to draw level. Just a 2-man wall here set up for Mount Pleasant, with Green and Morris, the 2 attacking men in there. The tallest man on the field, Topi, not surprisingly, gets there first with a header. So Cleon Price on, and there's Topi. Cleon Price in the number 10 shirt for Mount Pleasant. Former Portmore player as well. Also spent some time at Cavalier. Arnett on the attack. Reed. Johnson gets away here from Roberts. Right across the box, and Toby gets there. Makes a partial clearance, and I think Toby saved Mount Pleasant there from something damaging.
Well, I think he's a lucky boy, Lance. That was a very awkward attempt at a clearance. I thought he could have gone with his head. This is a brilliant ball in.
Well, it's a goal kick. It's a goal kick. It's off James, actually. I think Topi missed it.
Yeah, he missed it.
Totally?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
okay, yeah, he appeared to miss it, but I think his presence disrupted the Arnett men.
Well, he went with his right foot when he should have gone with his head. You can't, because in those sorts of circumstances, you really want to get a show. Or even if he's going with his right foot, he's got to hook it away and not try to hook it on
Maybe
the
it's a
other
good
side.
thing he didn't get a touch.
He's lucky.
I think that would have gone in the back of the net and he got a touch.
He's very lucky.
But the swinging of his big right foot, our leg,
it unsettled the Arnett men, for sure. Yeah, it threw him up, and his boot was high in the end as well, because the follow-through ended up head height.
Well, yeah, not easy to get to head height in the Shanny James situation, because he's so short, and Topi at 6'5", as you said. But certainly the concentration wavered for James because of that. That was a great ball put into the box, into the business area from Ajuma Johnson. Just the pace of the cross meant that Paul had to sit. He couldn't come. He couldn't get out in time to cover the 6-yard area.
Yeah, Roberts from Mount Pleasant. Green, who has been kept fairly quiet today, apart from the positive assists that he has been able to deliver, but on the goal scoring end, he hasn't had much by way of opportunities. Johnson. Guthrie. Price goes up for the header. Cunningham with a good pass upfield to Johnson. Martin. Neal. 12 minutes on the clock remaining. Arnett running out of time. Mount Pleasant large and in charge in Kingston. That won't test Paul.
I think that's the first foot he's put wrong this afternoon. Bad pass at the end, but
Green. Roberts' first touch isn't as good as it needed to be. Luckily for him, he's fouled, so he wins the advantage for Mount Pleasant. Yeah, sometimes you come on as a substitute in a game that is hot and pacey. It takes a little time for you to get the feel of the game.
especially this game, it's the tempo certainly has risen. He's a bit lucky. Well, it's a tug of the shorts there.
Yeah.
Would suggest that it was a foul. It's the second time he's been caught in possession. He is going to want to have to come up to pace with this one.
With a win today, Mount Pleasant will displace Arnett Gardens in third and move within 2 points of second placed Waterhouse. Mount Pleasant with a plus 13, well, plus 14 goal difference now. Second best in the league, only Waterhouse with a plus 22 goal difference, better than they have. So Mount Pleasant steadying their season after a good start to the season, then a bit of a dip in the middle part. Guthrie for Arnett. His pass is cut off by Green. Morris. Price. Bacala. Sigri. Sigri loses it. Yeah, but the big central defender and captain tied his things up for Mount Pleasant.
What it also does, Lance, is put a distinct difference between the top 4 and 5th and 6th. If you think about it, because a win for Mount Pleasant now takes them to 37. Wow.
Yellow card to Cleon Price, the substitute. Neil has a smile on his face.
Well, I think he's lucky, Neil, because he was...
Wow.
He was throwing in both players, actually.
Good officiating by Arnett Hamilton. Saw that early, and that was a bit ridiculous from Price.
Yeah, lucky boy.
I think because of the flat palm across might have been why it was just yellow and not red. Had it been another action in the face, it might have been off.
Yeah. Only the 4th season in the top flight here for Mount Pleasant, but their fans are already getting impatient. They feel they need a Premier League title to show for the heavy investment and the sort of money that's been pumped into this academy. And to be quite honest, the impressive roster that they have. 12 different scorers so far this year. They had 8 different scorers in the 2021 season, this Mount Pleasant team. The speedy Cephas retrieves. Johnson, poor cross by Johnson. Powell gets in the way. Cephas with a header. Oh, Topi gets there and knocks the ball behind for a corner. Yeah, Topi very, very busy here tonight. He's been asked to do a lot.
Still can't say he's sorting out his feet very well though, Topi. Maybe a bit lucky with some of these clearances.
Well, a lot of it's down to his positioning as well. He seems to always be kind of trying to get back into a position.
Clark's corner is a little deep, and unfortunately Cunningham can't get a proper header on. Had a 4-game winning streak at the start of the season, snapped in their mid-February 1-1 draw with Dunbeholden, this Mount Pleasant team. But as we mentioned earlier on, had a bit of a stutter in the mid-season, but now they've found their rhythm again, Mount Pleasant, and looking threatening as they go for another run at the championship. Powell. Not a good pass, trying to get O'Shane Roberts in. Price trying to manhandle Martin there, and again the referee steps in and Price is punished. 7 minutes left plus time for stoppages to add on. Neil has it for Arnett Gardens. In their first round fixture back in March, Mount Pleasant held the lead for a very, very long time. until Kilmarnock Arboyne's equaliser late in the game. Arnett looking for a late equaliser again. Rich's header out, not getting a lot of distance on the clearance. In fact, the ball is still in their defensive third. Shandy James. Johnson. Header on goal. Wow, the overhead kick attempted by Cephas goes high. Yeah, the build-up there for Arnett Gardens pretty promising. Reid didn't get a proper header on. The ball appeared to hit him in the face more than him really getting a good header on. Yeah, I think he collided there too with the challenging defender, and then Cephas going for the spectacular overhead kick is high with it. Yeah, I think there was a bit of a collision there with Reid and the defender who he challenged for the header, and Fabian Reid a bit hurt there. 6 minutes to the end of normal time. The stretcher is there ready to take him off.
There must be some sort of conversation on that bench as to how they can impact things tactically. They've made the changes like for like, but it hasn't really given them the momentum tactically that they may need to really put Mount Pleasant under pressure. As much as they've had the territorial advantage and maybe the advantage possession-wise, they have not really created the amount of chances as it relates to the possession that they would have had so far in this game. I think that might be a disappointment for Coach Teagat Davis.
Yeah. Well, Reid looks good enough to continue, so he is going back to the half-line area to quite likely reinsert himself into the game. Paul's long kick out. Cephas with a headed pass here to Shandy James. James heads goalwards, but the pass has too much pace on it and can't give Cephas the opportunity to go on goal. Yeah, just some of those final passes from Arnett Gardens, not as clinical as they need to be. They're not just Arnett, we've seen it from both teams as well. Mount Pleasant, the first team from St. Anne to play Premier League football since Benfica back in 2010-2011. Benfica finished 10th that season and were relegated. Here comes Green. Yeah, had two men on him there, a little bit ambitious, and he's lost the throw. But enjoying his game, Daniel Green has really had a breakout season this year with his league-leading 12 goals. Johnson. Reid under some pressure. Johnson. Guthrie. Still Guthrie. Johnson. Much too close to the goalkeeper. Bad delivery from Johnson. Time running out on Arnett. 3 minutes left. Plus time to be added on for stoppages. Coming up, Waterhouse against Tivoli. James back to Cunningham. Now Johnson again. Reid protects the ball well against Powell. Guthrie. Simpson. Neal. Clark under pressure. Mount Pleasant winning a throw midway their own half. So Mount Pleasant managing the game well here, trying to ensure that they will collect the 3 points that will lift them above Arnett Gardens in third. Morris, Harvey, McCalla.
I tell you what they have been is deliberate. They've made the intentions quite clear from early in this game that they are going to control the tempo of it. And this is the pattern they've found themselves in.
Toby almost lost it there. Morris does well. Sends Price forward down the left channel. But goalkeeper Edwards assertive. Arnett in transition. Clark. Whistle. Free kick to Mount Pleasant. Free kick to Arnett. Yeah, Reed partly foul there. Kick taken quickly. Here comes Cunningham. Johnson. Cephas.
I think that's where the difference is in this game so far. They've gotten into those positions quite often, Arnett Gardens, but the delivery and execution just haven't been up to standard.
Cephas with a right-footed corner. The header toward goal. Oh, ball just bobbling a bit there. Now here comes Guthrie. Wide to Johnson. Oh, Johnson gets by O'Shane Roberts. His cross, though, far too deep, gives Neil a lot of work to do on the far side. Throw here, won by Arnett. We're told as many as 7 minutes might be added on for stoppages here, so more time for Arnett, if that is so.
We have another half to go.
Steve Clark takes it short. Header on goal. Simpson on the far post. The flag has gone up. Disappointment for the dreadlock defender for Arnett. Arnett thought they had the equalizer. So Mount Pleasant dodging a bullet there.
FIFA assistant Nicholas Anderson, very experienced assistant referee with a call. See it here. It certainly came off an Arnett man initially, and it looked as if he was very close to the far post.
Yeah,
was Ezra Simpson. So considering it came off an Arnett player, he probably was offside. In an offside position. Yeah, because only Shavin Sean Paul looked deeper. Obviously, that's not the best angle to see it from, but yeah, not many complaints.
Yeah, didn't see that. Johnson, James,
like just a couple strands of the locks got onto that one. The connection was weak.
Yeah. There goes Simpson again. Arnett playing with some haste now because they know they're in stoppage time and they need the comeback goal. Guthrie, Cunningham, Johnson, James. Under pressure, robbed of the ball by McCullough. Johnson has it. Neil's cross. Not as good as it needed to be. All of the Mount Pleasant players behind the ball on that play. So they're defending the lead they have. And poised now to score their 4th win over Arnett Gardens in 9 meetings. Oh, that one is missed. Martin. Guthrie! Wow, turned away by Shavin Paul. And Clark arrives late on the far post, but they've won a corner, Arnett. Mayhem in the Mount Pleasant defensive zone. Yeah, both defenders in a miscommunication there, Richie and Powell. And again here, the ball stolen by Reed.
Yes, crappy play. Yeah. Shavin Sean Paul yet again. certainly a big statement for the man of the match based on his saves.
Here comes Ricardo Morris now. Still Morris. Morris goes for goal. He had passing options. Corner to Mount Pleasant. Arnett almost beaten in transition.
I thought Price looked like he strayed into an offside position, hence the reason Morris held on for it for such a long time. But that pass should have been played earlier by Green when he was in his own half. If he had switched the side of the play, he may have gotten both an option between Price and Morris. The game really opening up now.
Green is down, so he wasn't able to continue his run because it was a 3-on-2 situation.
Yeah, and I saw Morris looking for him.
Yeah,
Morris kept glancing to his right. Yeah, to see if there was a run there coming from Green, but Green was
a cramp.
Yeah.
Cramps have taken over for Daniel Green. What a game Shavin Sean Paul is having though. That wasn't an easy save at the opposite end, bubbling right in front of him. This was the opportunity, and when you saw it fall to Fabian Reed, you thought problems.
Yeah.
And that bounce right in front of Paul made it difficult. Hence the ball spun off of his hand and nearly went into the path of
Stevie
Clark, who is yet to get off the mark this season.
Shavin Paul puts his hand up for man of the match, even though it was Stewart's outstanding strike that has Mount Pleasant on the verge of a victory here.
It's a close one between the two.
Well,
I may have tipped my hat towards Stewart. Thought he led the lines well, but I think injury may have taken that honours away from him.
Well, if it wasn't for Paul, they wouldn't be leading because some really good saves. I mean, that one that he took from Cephas out of the top corner was a top save.
Yeah.
Then this one, and he had one shortly before that as well.
Right. And to be fair, the Arnett defenders had done a very good job on Stewart in the first half, nullifying him.
Yeah.
So outside of the goal, which is important, you don't want to underplay the importance of a goal because it is about to get them 3 points here if they can hold it.
I remember even at the start of the second half, an important ball coming into the box, and Paul, with his flexibility, punched it away, that cross that was coming in, which was certainly heading to Arnett forward. So he's really had an outstanding game in both halves.
Yeah. So Paul edges it here for the commentary box. Wow. Johnson gives the ball away. And now Green has it. Being hounded by 3 men though. Oh, but Green gets away from Cunningham. Still has 3 men to contend with. He thinks he's fouled, and he gets the call. Yeah, we're in the final minute now of the 7 minutes added on. So Mount Pleasant are on the verge. Chris and Brent of registering their 4th win over Arnett Gardens in 9 meetings. And a win that will displace Arnett in 3rd.
I think Arnett Gardens only have themselves to blame really here this afternoon. They've got themselves in some really good positions, but the execution and final decision making, I think, has been their downfall here.
Roberts.
I don't think it's so much to do with the way Mount Pleasant played, but I think it's more to do with the lack of execution in the final third, the money third as they call it, by Arnett Gardens.
Martin goes forward here, tumbles over from the O'Shane Roberts challenge, and the referee awards Arnett the free kick, and time running out on Arnett. Guthrie, the captain, has it, goes wide. The 7 minutes expiring, so the whistle will go anytime now, which it has from referee Odette Hamilton. And Mount Pleasant have beaten Arnett Gardens at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex by 1-0 and stretched their unbeaten run against Arnett now to 5 games. Disappointment for Arnett. Glory for Mount Pleasant, who moved to number 3 in the table at the moment on the strength of the 3 points gained here. Teagat Davis, the former Mount Pleasant coach himself, was replaced as the Mount Pleasant coach in the middle of last season. Now he's at Arnett Gardens, and Mount Pleasant has beaten his team here by 1-0. There's Nick Eden, the Mount Pleasant coach, getting a result here that just switches the positions around. Mount Pleasant moving from 4th to 3rd in the table now, as they climb to 37 points, one ahead of Arnett Gardens in a 1-0 victory at the Tony Spaulding Sports Complex. Here are the highlights of this one. Arnett Hamilton with a whistle. Arnett Gardens on the attack early. They had a pretty good first half. Arnett Gardens. Martin will cross here from the right side. Cephas gets the header, but goes high with the header from just about 5 yards. Disappointing for the Arnett number 7. Shandy James, the former Portmore man, had a decent game here. Lost the ball there. Trevante Stewart retrieves the pass, but his left-footed strike met in the middle of the goal by Eric Edwards. Arnett, the more aggressive team in the first half, but Siobhan Paul unable to be stopped. A powerhouse of a left-footed drive there from Ricardo Morris, but straight to Eric Edwards, who punches the ball away. That had a lot of pace on it. Yeah, the strike over the top there. Arnett having a lot of the play in the first half. Shandy James again drives toward goal, just drags that one slightly wide. James had a busy first half, but didn't win the ball there. And here's the goal from Trevante Stewart. Fends off the Ezra Simpson challenge after picking up this nice 35-yard pass from Daniel Green. And safely lodges that one into the back of the net for the 1-0 lead, which they would keep. Trevante Stewart's 8th goal of the season, 6 of them coming from Mount Pleasant. Yeah, there were moments here when Mount Pleasant had to be very desperate at the back. Shandy James here setting the ball across here to Johnson. And the overhead kick attempted by Cephas going high. Mix up here in the box. The ball squirts free here for Fabian Reed. Tall with a fine save, diving to the left, preventing the ball from going in. He had an outstanding game, Siobhan Paul, as Mount Pleasant hold on for a strong 1-0 win here. Both of the teams had 3 shots on target. Arnett from 10 tries, Mount Pleasant from 5 attempts. 23 fouls in the match, 12 of them by Mount Pleasant players. There were 6 yellow cards here, 4 for Mount Pleasant and 2 for Arnett. 6 corners forced by Arnett Gardens, 2 by Mount Pleasant. Arnett's goalkeeper Edwards pulling off 2 saves, and 5 saves from our man of the match, Siobhan Paul for Mount Pleasant. Arnett Gardens have more time on the ball, or had more time on the ball here at 52%. But it's Mount Pleasant with the important statistic at the top. Mount Pleasant 1, Arnett 0. Siobhan Paul is with Chris Taylor.
Siobhan, you've had your fair share of injuries over the last couple of seasons. How does it feel to come here tonight and put on a performance like this?
Well, it's a great feeling, you know. As you say, injury has been plaguing me for a while. You know, right now I'm not 100%, but our other goalkeeper to go on international duty. I just have to tough it out and come out here today and try to put my best performance, and we stuck to the task, and it helped us become victorious today.
You're busy between the sticks, and as an experienced goalkeeper, what saves do you find the hardest ones to make?
Well, once the ball is coming towards the goal, I want to save it. All of them is difficult, because anything can happen. And
I saw you got some tough ones, couple bouncing right in front of you, and that save from Ronaldo Cephas in the top corner. You look like you stretched further than your 6'1" frame.
Yeah, that one had me, but I stuck out there, you know. Got a touch, and that touch was good enough to keep it out of the back of the net.
A clean sheet for you and a big 3 points for Mount Pleasant as well.
Yeah, man. It's just going up from here, you know. We have a goal we have goals that we set out one by one. We're just taking it there.
All right, Siobhan, excellent performance. Enjoy your clean sheet. Rest up.
Thank you.
Siobhan Sean Paul, they're our man of the match between the sticks for Mount Pleasant. Paul Teagat Davis will join me, a prolific striker in his time, but your strikers couldn't get the job done today, Teagat.
Yeah, you know, it's a game that when I look at the game, you know, He's kind of convinced me that this team can go far away, you know. We just need to take a chance and concentrate more, you know, stop making that silly mistakes. The football is about chances, you know. When you make mistakes and the other team take chances, that's what, you know, costs the game.
And football is also about matchups, as you well know, and this has been a fixture that Arnett have struggled with over the years.
I tell you, tonight was a brilliant football game. Both teams, I could watch it over and over and over. I thought we have more players on the back foot. You know, we should have really, even a point, we should have come out the game with.
I can't help but ask you this question. Why would you start Ronaldo Cephas on the right-hand side instead of the left, based on how the season has gone with him so far?
I guess it worked well, you know, because we stopped the Sigi from coming even forward. He would like to come forward, you know. So it's like a tactical game, then we switch to the next side, you know. I think it worked wonders for the game.
All right, T-Gat, we look forward to seeing what you come with next week. Unfortunate loss for you. Keep up the good work though at the training ground.
Yeah, man. Crime and violence have to cease.
We have to kick it away. Paul T-Gat Davis there, our head coach of Arnett Gardens. Nick Eden now joins me, head coach of Mount Pleasant. A pleasing 3 points for you again. Nick, different tactics, but still 3 points.
Yeah, we've had to battle away. We knew it was going to be a tough game. You know, there's quite a lot at stake. You know, the start of a big week for us, this.
And talk to me about the change in the defence line, playing 3 centre-backs today. Was it a purposeful plan to sit deep, extra deep?
A little bit, yeah. You know, at times this season, that's when we've been caught, when we've tried to squeeze up. I think it just suits the players more.
And in terms of looking to score on the counter and so on, that was a plan that worked well for you today?
Well, especially at half-time, I said, you know, get it forward into Big Cash and Reggie. Cardo was looking lively as well today, so get it into our danger players and cause them problems.
All right, you leapfrog Arnett Gardens into second position. Good performance today, and all the best for the weeks to come.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, Nick Eden there, coach of the Mount Pleasant team, and getting a victory here over Arnett Gardens that pushes them to third in the table. Without their international players today, Kevin Lane and Akil Clark, the 2 Guyanese who are back home doing CONCACAF Nations League duties and out of the roster today. But Mount Pleasant with a victory by 1-0 and climbing into third place ahead of Arnett Gardens in the Jamaica Premier League, powered by Digicel.
Teddy, you had been building momentum the last